Wanderers, welcome to the Wondering Dutchmen podcast. Today's episode is brought to you by the Gaslight.
We are entering the spring season, and that means we are all busy running kids to sporting events or busy with outside choring. During this busy season, we don't have time to cook, so let our friends at the Gaslight feed you. Whether you're looking for appetizers and sandwiches or their delicious tavern-style pizzas, let the Gaslight feed you tonight. Even if you aren't busy, the weather is just right to get back outside. Venture up to 4th Street in Huntingburg and see our friends at the Gaslight. Don't forget about their bar catering services or fundraisers offered by the Gaslight either.
The Wondering Dutchmen podcast.
Where none of us are Dutch, but we all live in Holland, Indiana. Join us where we talk about what we all wonder about. This is the Wandering Dutchman podcast coming to you from Smoker's Lounge.
The Wandering Dutchman. Yeah, yeah. The Wandering Dutchman. Yeah, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Wandering Dutchman podcast, coming to you from Smoker's Lounge. We are brought to you all month long by John Songer and our friends at the Gaslight on 4th Street in Huntingburg. Great place to get you a pie, cold beer, or a sandwich, depending on what you're feeling. Welcome to the lounge on this Wednesday. If you're listening to us on Wednesday, we appreciate it. Or whenever you're catching us, we appreciate it even more. Fellas, we're here. We're in. Got some nice weather. We're not drowning out there. It's not raining cats and dogs. A little sunshine. Some overachiever riding by on his bicycle on 161.
Got a baby.
Making the rest of us feel guilty for being
Got the doors
fat
open.
son of a bitches.
Got
But
the doors open. Look at
that's okay. Good
The
for him.
lawn looking good for him.
Well, he looks like you could bail that son of a bitch.
That's what I asked him. He sent that photo of that Sunday stripes, and when I
Yeah.
pulled in the driveway, I said, "Who's going to run the hay tedder for you? Who's going
Yeah,
to ted that up?"
I
I guess I could find a rake, and we could go down there and rake it up.
I didn't know if you were starting a fescue business out of the front yard or what you were doing
for
there.
all the birds, so they can make their nestesses and everything.
And then you'll bitch about bird shit everywhere. There, the boy. Yeah, I took the strategy to maybe raise the mower deck.
That's
a
what
little
I
bit.
asked him.
Yeah, you could tell he didn't. He scalped that son of a bitch down there
That's good.
deep.
Other than,
Yeah.
Well, I just there's
Looked
plenty
like
of
it was
ways
a little
to
wet
skin a
down
cat.
there.
we'll blow
Oh
it
yeah, I
around.
couldn't mow everything down there. It's holds water pretty well.
Wonder why.
Yeah, could be the lowest spot in the county.
Craziest thing I think I've seen to date involving the Ohio River when I had picked Justine up Thursday night in the dark at the hospital. Which, by the way, PSA here. I don't know. Do you Snapchat?
On occasion,
Okay.
but not very often.
She had ran into some like late admittals. Admissions, not admittals. That's not a word.
Admittals
Is it a word?
I think it's a word.
is a word, but not how you read
Not
it.
yeah, like late admissions, like people they had to admit a few patients like close to the end of the shift.
Mm.
So she had gotten hung up at work a little longer than, past her normal time. So I was sitting in the parking lot waiting on her to come out, and I noticed that the helicopter was coming in
That's not a good sign.
with a patient, and I thought, hell, I'll just go over there and watch it land.
Yeah,
So I did, and you can get remarkably close to it.
that's surprising.
It is.
but-
It is very surprising to me.
I guess if you're going to get something chopped off, why not do it in the front
Yeah,
of
that's
the hospital?
Yeah. So I watched it land, and I mean, it must have been a transfer, and that's what Justine was trying to explain to me, that not every time somebody's in a helicopter is it like dire life and death.
Yeah.
Like sometimes it's just for a transfer. Well, this old boy was sitting up, on the gurney, of course, like just talking to, moving his head and shit, like completely conscious and stuff. So it's not like there was
That's an expensive trip.
well, and
Better be a hell of a transfer.
so, but see, that's what I thought too. But you sign up for that
Air
Air-Evac insurance, and you become like a lifetime member, and it's like I don't know if it's like a co-op or whatever, or like a club that you can join, but
it's like any other insurance program.
Yeah.
Pay your premium. And
Yeah.
Pools.
pyramid scheme.
something,
Well,
But anyway, like I'm,
wouldn't it be a
sometimes-
Ponzi scheme?
I don't know what that means.
Isn't it?
Yeah. I guess that would be.
But I Snapchatted the helicopter taking off after it left again, and then I bet you I got 15 messages. Are you okay? Is everybody all right? Do you know anybody in that helicopter? Oh my God, what's going on? And I'm like, I've just been videoing a helicopter.
Yeah.
Man. But anyway, crossing the river after we picked her up on the Twin Bridges going into Henderson, it looked like you could read the words on the shirts of the dudes driving the barges going underneath that bridge.
Yeah.
I bet
It was
you
up.
I was telling him he didn't come down to the next day in the daylight, but I said, I feel like the antennas on them barges, the big boats, had to have been very close to the bottom of that bridge. That river is nutty
overflowed
high.
all the way up to like damn near the new, I don't know if it's a casino, the horse track, something in Owensboro.
Mm-hmm.
But I bet it's 1.5 miles or 2 miles.
Something in Owensboro.
They
Yeah,
came,
it's like-
yeah. You know where the
There's
Where
like a new
the
casino.
gaming thing on the other side of the
Oh.
bridge?
Yeah.
Maybe casinos not to where I think.
Well, you said racetrack.
It's a
I was
it's
thinking
a-
Henderson.
It's
Yeah,
the
just a-
online thing, yeah.
It's just they got historical horse racing games. and
Yeah.
sports book in there.
But those the water's was up to there. That's like 2 miles south of the river.
Yeah.
There's houses just stranded. There's 2 or 3 houses. Just
Oh, you don't
stranded.
realize how low that is.
It's nuts, ain't it?
Just so much water though. I was like, good.
Even the
grief.
Cumberland, like when we went across the Cumberland River before you get to Barkley, I mean, it was just sea, like just water everywhere. And then the bridge to go, or when we went to the dam, going around the dam, because that's where their house is at, every one of their floodgates were open. And they were just, that summit was just ripping.
And they were open today when we left.
Yeah. And
Right. The water's higher today than it was Friday when I got there.
we thought that they had maybe shut it off overnight last night because the water, like a lot of docks yesterday, the walkways were all high and dry, but now they're all like underwater and shit. So there's no fishing today.
Yeah, I would.
But I don't know. I just never seen that river that high, I don't think, in my lifetime.
Well, you got to figure some of it is the geographical scope of that storm. You're talking about water from
Oh, yeah. Pennsylvania, Ohio, all that.
Michigan, all that. I mean, that
Yeah.
storm that came through was
The
a lot.
east. Yeah.
Yeah.
What you been up to?
Nothing.
Baseball.
No, we rained out Thursday, practiced Friday, and then we were off this weekend, and
It's kind of
then
nice, baby.
play Monday. And so in podcast time, Monday, well, this will come out Wednesday. So play Monday, we'll practice Tuesday, play again on Wednesday, practice Thursday, and then we'll probably take off for the Easter
Festivities.
holiday. So
Ellie's got 2 in a row this week. We got Monday, Tuesday.
yeah, Zoe plays Tuesday, Thursday.
That's weird,
I have
ain't
no
it?
idea when apparently maybe Weston's playing Monday.
And then Max
Is that
plays.
a both game?
Just a JV game against Wood Memorial.
And then Max plays his first one on the road at Ferdinand,
Where's Wood Memorial at?
Oakland City,
Well,
Indiana.
you're going to go to Southside Park, so you don't have to worry about it.
Right, I just didn't never.
Oh, yeah, it is. You get into Oakland City,
The Trojans.
you hang a left at what would have been the old National Bank building, and now I think Oakland City University's got it.
Hope you guys cream them.
I don't know what. Well, it's a JV game because they didn't feel like it would be competitive with our varsity squad. So they may have some older kids, younger kids. I don't know what they'll have. We usually don't put them on the schedule, but former Raider Jeremy Marshall is over there, and so
That's
he
right.
reached
I
out.
knew he went back.
I know it happens every year, but that daggone game the other night was brutal weather-wise.
Which one?
Varsity boys, I think, lost by 1 or 1.
Oh,
by
is that
1.
Washington game?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
It got. I told Wes when we left, I was like, "You got a sweatshirt?" He's like, "No." I was like,
Oh, yeah,
Cold tonight, and he was like, "I know. I'm playing baseball." I'm like,
Oh, he rolled down. He bitched about it the entire time.
Mhm.
and then on the way home, like, "I
Shocker.
told you to get
Yeah.
a sweatshirt." He's like, "You didn't tell me to get one. You asked why I didn't have one. That's not the same thing as telling me to get one, Dad." Okay, next time I
Oh,
say, "Hey, it's going to
smartass.
be cold."
Little smart ass.
I don't know what space realm he lives in. Sometimes
It's a wild deal.
But I think there was 5 times in a row with the runner on first. I said, Weston, you have to hold him on. So he'd come over, hold him on. Next pitch would come. He's standing over there. Weston, it hasn't changed. You have to hold him on. Yeah. 3 more times later, and then I think I just said, "F it, whatever. Weston, you do you, pal. I don't care." But it's been it's just hard to find a little consistency practice wise
Mhm.
because it's been, I mean, even that
storm that came through on Wednesday night that got our friends over there at OFS.
Right.
I mean,
Wild.
it dumped water, but I mean, we still went down and like the field wasn't in bad shape. That's why we were able to practice Friday. But wild to think we've had that much kind of wild weather come through, and it takes that little pop up on Thursday night to just cause something like that.
Yeah.
I don't think it rained in Ferdinand. Caitlin's sister, I guess, her daughter was going to have a softball game, and they were talking about whether or not it was going to get canceled. And I don't know that it did, but south, looking that way when that storm came through, it looked clear that way.
Yeah, we were going to practice on Thursday, and then I was like, I better double check the radar, and then I was like, we're not going to practice because you could see it kind of coming across. It looked like it was going to hit us regardless. So
yeah, I think they. Whoa, that's a little hot. Wyatt's game got canceled, but it wasn't like it was. It's like it was less than an hour before it started. Like it.
Yeah,
That storm was that Wednesday night.
Yeah.
Was a wild deal because I was in the shower, a little bit of thunder, nothing really big.
Thursday night.
Thursday night, that's right, Thursday. And then Mom was taking the girls to the Gaslight to eat, and she said, yeah, something's going on. There's fire trucks going everywhere. And then you come to find out the damn tornado's a little bitty microburst spun up and rips the whole roof off the damn
Turbo
Plant
Chuck
5.
said he was walking to his truck from, his shift was over there,
Yeah.
and he was walking across to his truck, and he said he just looked over and saw the whole roof rip off and land on the. So he just ran his little ass.
Yeah. Well, I guess they had a confirmed tornado.
Yeah.
In Gibson County.
Princeton. I
Yeah.
talked to a friend of mine that I used to work with over at the mine, and it happened two city blocks from his house.
Yeah.
And he said he just thought it was like he said it wasn't doing anything, like raining or really anything. And he said all of a sudden it just sounded like a big old flock of blackbirds or some shit flying.
Yeah.
And then he looked up and he said, hell no, that ain't birds. That's freaking sheet metal and siding and all kinds of crap flying through the air.
Which is amazing because then, like on some of those major weather events, we talked about it on last week's shows, like, the ones that they're like spot on.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's not those that get you. It's these ones where they're like, it's kind of, because I didn't hear much about it. Like, I didn't think anything of it.
No, just thunderstorm.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden it does more damage than what the other ones did, through this area. But
Pretty nuts.
Old Smoke there had a big fan on the bases on Tuesday night.
Oh yeah, Ump Levi there.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Middle of the game.
Smoker! Smoker, what's up, bud?
Right in the middle of the damn game.
That kid is, he is something.
He did. It was funny. There was a call. And they ended up calling it that the kid had hit it off his leg and it trickled fair. Should have been a foul ball because he hit it off his leg. And the home umpire, he didn't have it. The coach for Washington was like, whoa, hey, I think that hit him. My whole thing was if it hit him, he would have acted like it hit him. Like he just took off running. And so they had a conference of umpires and they talked. And next thing you know, they called foul ball. And I walked over to him. I go, there ain't a chance you saw that. He goes, nope. And that's what I told him. So, hey, it is what it is. But
he did a pretty good job down there with our little fellers, too. He's a good kid.
Yeah, it is. But he was just in the middle. I hear it. I got done talking to our varsity guys.
Hey, Smoker!
That's exactly what it was. He was like, hey, is that a Smoker boy over there? I said, yeah, that's him. He goes, you think Dave will be here? And I said, well, I don't keep his calendar, but I think it is a home game. So
He should be.
He should be here.
Good chance.
If we were playing in Washington, you wouldn't have seen him.
Yeah, not a chance.
But he was like, oh, okay. And then I got done and I'm walking back and they're started.
Smoker! Hey!
And I was like, God bless it.
He would do that down at the park too when Max and Weston played together last year, and I'm like, who in the hell is screaming at Dave? And he'd be over like changing into his shin guards and shit over in the parking lot.
He's a big fisherman, old Levi.
Is he?
Likes to fish a lot.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's a good hobby to have. Would have been a good day for it.
Yeah.
Would have been a good day. What about you guys? Anything exciting?
No,
Mm-mm.
tired, ready to get things rolling.
I hate for you to have a weekend away and be tired.
Well, yeah, you're right. I mean, it's all self-inflicted, and we have no one to blame but ourselves. But Yeah, we had a good time. Everything went as planned, and
Yeah, hell yeah.
the golf course was a little, but I mean, it was a good time.
I didn't take clubs. I didn't there was no way I was going to make it in time for golf. I just knew it, but I also did not anticipate that the party of 11 would be golfing as slow as they were.
Oh God! And there was a group of 9 in front of us. We let them tee off. They were playing in threesomes, so it wasn't no big deal. And they were everyday golfers, though. I mean, they were all decked out, and you could tell. Their
Probably a
pace,
smart move to let
100%. Their pace of play was extremely fast. And then, believe it or not, we teed off at like 12:20. Let that group play. Actually, they teed off in front of us because they were like a 12 or a 150 something. Or anyway, let them go. Then we went. They don't really when we play. God damn. They didn't really understand. We had a lot of non-golfers, if you can imagine, and a lot of them didn't really understand. Like, you're not supposed to play more than 4 at a time. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh.
So like at one point there's 9 balls on the green at the same time. You know what I mean? And realistically, it wasn't no big deal because we only let one twosome come behind and play through, and then we didn't have anybody behind us the rest of the afternoon. So it wasn't that big a deal. It rained, it got cold, and then it warmed up, and then the sun come out, and then it got windier than shit. But yeah, I mean, it was a nice course. I wouldn't mind to go back and play it again, like in a different setting. That was one of the courses that
not with 35 people.
That's exactly right. Yep. And my dad, when he goes on that golf trip down in Kentucky, that's one of the ones on the list that they play. So yeah,
What's it called?
Kentucky Dam Village Golf Course. It's literally right there in that state park, the Dam Village. Yeah,
A Dam Village, nice Dam Village.
yeah,
Oh,
but it wasn't bad.
Yeah, I'm playing tomorrow.
Cool,
Bloomington Country Club.
nice.
Where are we going in Bedford?
Bedford.
Well, Teddy Hoops has got to respond.
Mm.
I need him to confirm.
What's it called?
Stonecrest.
Stonecrest.
Yeah. Brother
Bloomington
Tyler's
Country
excited.
Club. Is that the old IU course up there on 46 on the bypass?
No. I don't think so.
What do they call that one now? We played that one a couple times when Justine was in college. Me and old buddy A-Hole and
The new course
Cam
is
Cammon.
Foul.
That's what it was.
That's the new one. Yeah.
That's where we played.
Foul's pretty nice.
Yeah.
It is pretty nice. I saw Brother A-Hole yesterday at church.
Oh, good.
I think they baptized
Yeah.
the youngest Schneider child.
The youngest.
Well, it's not Schneider. She was a Schneider. She married
Hagen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the youngest Hayden child.
Yeah.
Dipped a little of the holy water on him and welcomed him to the faith.
Amen.
So,
Good.
hey, before we get into it, our friends at Hopf Outdoor Power want to talk to you.
We've been saying for a while now that grass mowing season is upon us. If you went out to the shed and last year's mower is now destined for a quick sale on Marketplace, you need to head to Hopf Outdoor Power for your next mower. Good news, they're having the Ultimate Cub Cadet Sales event going on now through May 15th. Head over to Hopf Outdoor Power today and happy shopping.
All right, big fella, we got.
Well, going back to what I had said earlier about having a good time, and we went out of town for the weekend celebrating neighbor Tyler Winholt's 40th birthday party down at the Kentucky Lake at a lake house there, and I had a good time. I drank a lot of beer. We did a lot of activities, and activating, and it was a good time. But every time I go to these trips, or really anywhere, it just solidifies that I am a home turf sleeper. Every time, like I didn't sleep worth a shit. And one would think that with enough of copious amounts of
because you'll sit there and pass out in a lawn chair.
100%.
Yeah,
You're right. 100% snoring in a lawn chair.
Yep.
And I don't know, like every day I felt like I was up, like I was awake, but not like up. You know what I mean? I'd still lay there and waller around hoping to go back to sleep. Reach over and pat Justine on the butt or something, you know what I mean? But then she's still snoring and everything else. But it was like, I bet it was 6:15, 6:20 every day. And I just couldn't sleep. I couldn't sleep. Couldn't fall asleep. Felt like I was just listening and hearing everything. And I don't know. You guys ever struggle with that? Like hotel rooms and anything like that?
No, not particularly. I run so ragged sometimes. I just sleep. So I could damn near sleep about anywhere. So
Out there in them rocks.
yeah, well, a little bit of comfort is needed. But no, I mean, there's some, when you get a really, really bad mattress, been in some places where it's, we've had it a couple times when we go to that swamp hole down there.
Yeah, what a dump.
That we've had some very interesting mattresses where it makes it tough. And by the end of the week, kind of feel it. But yeah, that's probably the only ones. Usually hotels do a pretty good job of rotating out mattresses, but it's when you go to these vacation rentals that they get you because they don't give two shits about.
No, they're getting beat up, man.
Yeah, so that would be it. But some of those where they're really bad, it's tough because being a bigger fella, it's hard to find a spot.
And that probably had a lot to do with it too. So when we got assigned rooms, in the beginning when we got there, like, follow me, I'll show you to your quarters. And we get in there and it's a real nice bed, king size, 4-poster, real, decent deal. And I sat down on it and I thought, oh God, like it's extremely cushy. Like it's nice, And then I got to looking and I'm like, there's no box spring underneath here. It's just this big old heavy mattress sitting on like 4 slats.
Oh boy,
I know, and
that make you a little nervous there, big fella.
It did, and I think
petite 4 1/4.
I know on just those little
toothpicks,
those standard. That's exactly what they said. Yeah, king size mattress floating on popsicle sticks. And that was another thing too. I think it just added to my anxiety because every time I would try to like roll over or some shit, I was like, oh God, don't break, don't break, don't break.
Man.
So finally, Thursday night, everybody was pretty much shot because I had worked all day and everything and had a few beers when we got down there and then went to bed. Got up Friday. Friday was the golf day and stuff like that. We were zapped. I didn't have enough gumption to do it. But Saturday night, before I got real bad, I went ahead and drug that mattress off the bed and laid her on the floor. That way I could, at least not have to worry about that. You know what I mean?
Well, that's good.
Just to sleep. But I don't know. Very nice mattress. I mean, the sumbitch weighed what, 500, 600, 700 pounds when we went to lift that bastard up this morning, Dave. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think I'm a home turf sleeper. You know what I mean?
Well, there's those comforts you're used to every night.
When we got home this afternoon and got everything unloaded, the warden, she's always already, retired to the sleeping quarters to take a little snoozer. I turned the masters on and just kind of did the same thing, but I just let out a big sigh and she goes, yeah, it feels nice to be back in your own bed, doesn't it? And I'm like, yeah, damn, it does. So anyway,
yeah,
that's what I was wondering about. I guess I'm just a home turf sleeper. What about you, Dave? You didn't say anything during this topic at all.
Oh, yeah, I am too. I don't like sleeping.
Well, I mean, the guy didn't like to shit outside of his own house.
He did shit this weekend, though.
Twice.
I shit 15 times this week today.
I always time it around like events where I feel like I'm not going to be, like holding up a bathroom from anybody or something.
Yeah, this place here, it had enough.
Yeah,
that we didn't have to worry about it. So, but it was kind of weird. The one day, Smoker's room was attached to the bathroom that I was frequenting, and Mrs. Smoker was in the other room, and I was like, Jenna, you might want to either leave or hold your ears for a minute because I'm afraid this one's going to be pretty violent. God damn it. So she just got up and walked out of the room.
Well, at least you did the courtesy.
I did. I could have just blew the back of the bowl out and let her experience it, but I did.
That can't be healthy.
No pain, no strain, buddy. It just blows out of there.
Shitting as much as you do, that just cannot be healthy.
Oh, keeps you regular. I am regular.
Yeah, not every hour on the hour.
No, not that much. But when you drink 400 beers in 3 days, that'll get you.
Yeah, that probably doesn't help anything.
No.
Doesn't help anything.
Well, you got, big guy.
Well, because we're not a sports podcast, and I didn't want to exclude Dave from the conversation. But this is realistically about the Masters for me.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of different sporting events of professional caliber. NCAA championship, Super Bowl, World Series, all that kind of stuff. But I think as a regular spectator and not necessarily I'm not like a golf like die hard, like I'm all Rory or I'm all Bryson or I was all Tiger.
Mhm.
Like I just enjoy watching good golf. I'm on the record saying that. But I think if I could go to one sporting event and have the ultimate experience, it is the Masters, and then it is probably the Open, which is it used to be the British Open, but to see some of those old courses they play on over there across the pond. But I love everything about the Masters. I watch the par 3 competition when they're out there with their families. I think that's the coolest thing ever.
It is neat.
I like the ceremonial first tee with those guys that, Gary Player, Tom Watson, Jack Nicklaus.
Jack Nicklaus, yeah.
At like 90. I don't think he's 90, but,
Very
to be
old.
that old and those guys go out there and swing it. And then just love the tradition of it. So that was my thought, or that's what I was wondering about. If there's any ultimate event that you would really, really want to go to that, the bad thing about the Masters is they do a ticket lottery, or you got to be high up on some chain where somebody's comping you to get in, and I'm not there, probably never be.
No.
But that's it for me. Like that would be amazing to be able to just walk the course, see it, live it, experience it, pay $2 for a Coke and a glass bottle and have a pimento cheese sandwich.
No shit. Did
Like,
you see that?
Yeah, they've
About
kept
how,
those prices.
It said the only thing that hasn't been affected by inflation was the Masters, and it was like
Yeah.
a pimento cheese sandwich is $3.
Yeah,
Hot dog was $1.50 or something.
I think in licensing and advertising stuff, I saw this stat. Don't know if it's 100% accurate, but it was like the Masters turns away almost $250 million. I think it was $270 million of potential ad revenue.
Oh,
for
sure.
not like doing it.
Just putting all that bullshit out
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
So like, which would be hard in
Which is awesome.
this day and age to say, we don't want that $270 million.
Mhm.
If they don't want it, I'll take it. Whoever's willing to pay.
Yeah.
But no, that's what I was just wondering about. And then like another event in general, like I think it would be cool to see like a presidential inauguration, like when they're swearing in, not to get political, but it's a monumental occasion in history. There's only been 47 of them.
Mhm.
Like it doesn't happen all the time. So I don't know. That's what I was just wondering about. If you guys had any like bucket list event where,
Oh, yeah.
you could do it, but
I think for me, like especially seeing all the boats and shit this weekend down there, guys bass fishing and stuff, I think it would be really cool to go to obviously not a river system when they're I want to go to the Bassmaster Classic, but I want to be on a boat and be like a spectator boat and be able to run and watch the different, watch them fish for a while. You know what I mean? Like as on a spectator boat where you could everybody's like Bassmaster.com runs Bass Track Live now, where it's, up to date, on the minute live coverage of the tournament.
Yeah.
You could find out who is where and stuff, and just kind of run to that area of the lake and watch them fish for a little while and pick up and go to another one or whatever, and then go back to the marina or wherever and then watch the weigh-ins and stuff. I think that would be really cool. I think that would be neat for me, but I'd probably have to do it by myself because there's no way my wife will ever go back to another Bassmasters Classic because she did not have very much fun when we went.
You guys on a boat though?
No, we just went to
See, if you were just on a pontoon.
we
boat
went to the
partying around.
we went to the expo and did the whole
big
off
party bar.
off the wall. Yeah,
Hey, asshole, I'm trying to fish. We know you're doing great, man.
But yeah, they deal with that, especially when they, on Championship Sunday, when you get like the top 3 or top 4 boats, and it's in a, if they're fishing in a spot where it's conducive to spectator boats. I mean, they
can't stop you.
sometimes no, hell no, they don't. You don't own the water. They don't own the water.
You got fish right.
It's just boat active, boating etiquette or fishing etiquette. You know what I mean? But there's been times where you've seen the anglers actually tell them like, hey, can you? You're kind of pushing up on that spot, like where there's a, they don't know what's under the water, but if there's a bunch of bass spinning on a big rock pile or something that they don't know, and these guys are just kind of watching them from the side, and they're like, hey, can you back off a little bit?
Do they do it politely?
Oh yeah, no, they do. Yeah, depending on where the angler is. Sometimes they'll be dicks, and stuff like that, and there'll be altercations.
I would around the water and just ruin his
Could you
day.
imagine some guy it's in a spectator boat, but he brought a rod and reel. He's sitting there fishing.
right now.
They fish.
Rips a big one. Like, oh my God.
They fish around locals all the time. They show them on TV because, like you said, like Dave said, they don't shut the lake down just because there's a tournament going. But yeah, there's mom and pop on a little John boat sitting on buckets out there bluegill fishing, and hey, you mind if I come around you? Yeah, come on through. Catching anything? Yeah, I got 5 in a live well right now for 30 pounds, and I'm hoping to win about 500 grand here in a little bit.
That's wild.
It is.
I
I
don't.
think it would be neat for me to check that out. I think.
Yeah, I don't watch fishing that much on TV, but if you had more of those like behind the scene moments that made it to it, that would be pretty funny.
Oh yeah.
What about you, Dave?
I don't know if I've got an event. And I mean, first time I haven't thought about it long, I guess, but I can't think of any event I want to go to. But there's venues I'd like, and like Jenna's now got a bucket list thing, and she wants to go see a game at every major league stadium in the country, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got like a route mapped out, starting in Southern California, and then moving up because you can catch 5 or 7.
San Diego, 2 in Los Angeles. Well, Oakland's now in Sacramento, but maybe moving to Vegas. And then you go up to Seattle. And then you can swing back. You could go to Arizona, too.
Yeah.
Texas has got 3.
Then so it actually worked out this year, but it doesn't
Texas
with
got 2.
football camp.
Mm-hmm.
But we've been wanting to go to St. Louis and then take a train to Chicago. And the schedule worked out for 3 days in a row. We could watch the Cardinals, and then I think the Cubs played the Cardinals, and then somebody was playing the White Sox. So we're going to try to do a train trip around there.
We were talking about that when we were going to pick up that boat in Paducah yesterday. There was a guy that I worked with that rode the train from Chicago to Denver.
Yeah.
Hated it. Said it was terrible.
Really?
Not good. Said like your sleeping quarters on the top bunk, there's like a harness you got to strap in before you go to bed. So it doesn't shuck you out on the floor. Yeah, he said it was eating Dramamine like Skittles, hot, stuffy in them train cars.
I'd like to go to Lambeau, too. I think that'd be a cool place to watch a ball game. Never been to
if you're a douchebag.
I guess I've been to like some, what do you call it? Is it preseason games?
Yeah, exhibition or preseason, yeah.
Been to one of those and watched the Colts play when the RCA Dome was still there. So it was out.
So Shirley and some of his buddies, they did that with NFL stadiums. They would pick one every year, something different, and fly and go wherever. But then there's a gal from town here in Holland where her and her son are huge baseball fans, and they're kind of doing similar thing where they're knocking off stadiums, catching baseball games at different stadiums and stuff like that. I figured you say like Red Rocks or.
Well, that was the one I was getting ready to get to.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'd like to check out something out there. I don't even really care who it is necessarily. I just
I've been out there. The day we were out there, ABBA was playing.
Really?
But the guy, we went as far as we could go before they would like charge you to get in, and I think you could see like it's really like just a simple walking path up to it, and then it's down in the bowl a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But it's out there just west of Denver, just a smidge there. But yeah, Red Rocks would be one of those, especially if you had like an iconic performance out there.
Like I'd love to see Blues Traveler. Anywhere, but I'd love to see him out there. That'd be cool.
That video of Zach Bryan.
Oh, and
when it's snowing,
yeah,
that was probably one of the coolest things I've seen from Red Rock wise. That was really neat.
Yeah, but then like those guys, basically you could travel the Dave Matthews train.
Oh God,
you could do the gorge out in I think that's Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
What is it in Wisconsin? Apple Valley or something like that.
I don't know.
That Alpine Valley. I don't know. He goes to that a lot, but yeah, when you think of venues like that, that's pretty cool because there are some iconic still left.
What's the one in New York City? The
Radio City Hall.
City Hall. That one would be neat.
Yeah, that would be a good one too.
Be a bunch of stuff in New York, but I just don't know if I'd enjoy it.
Yeah,
no, not a chance.
Like I'm afraid
pizza and pastrami.
Yeah,
I just don't know if I could. Gives me anxiety thinking about trying to enjoy myself like in New York City.
Yeah, catch you
New York City.
Catch you a day game for the Yankees. Drive out of town. Catch you a day game for the Mets. Drive out of town. Fenway's not in a real nice area in Boston. Catch you a day game there. Get out of town.
I think we're gonna go see the Braves play like June 20. want to say June 27th.
Down in Hotlanta?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the traffic will make your anxiety great.
Yikes. Atlanta.
Yeah, we Jenna's got a cousin
Yeah,
out
you guys
there.
brutal.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna go out there, stay with a cousin. We'll do some boating one day, and then catch a game one day. And
I don't know. I'm going to a wedding in May in Phoenix, Arizona.
Yeah, you're dumb for that one too. Some of this too, like Wrigley Field. I've been to Wrigley.
Me too.
I haven't been to Fenway Park. Old Yankee Stadium would have been neat to see.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's like the Hall of Fames. Like I'd love to go to Cooperstown and see, because I love baseball. Iconic college football stadiums.
The Rock.
Yeah,
The big house.
Michigan Stadium is freaking unbelievable.
The big
that
house.
they can fit that many people in there.
Notre Dame with touchdown Jesus.
Yeah, that would be on that list. There's a lot of golf courses that would be neat to
I'd
see.
love to do St. Andrews
Yeah.
over there.
Well, that's part of the
yeah.
British Open experience, because
Yeah.
that would be their weather's so unpredictable. though.
Right.
I've got to put more time on the golf course this year. I say this every year, and I only go 2 or 3 times. I'm ready. Hold on.
Bless you.
Oh, sorry about that. I think
I hit the ball decent a couple times, but then I'm just still I'm not a big 18-hole golf guy.
Well, I mean, some of that is
Not playing
yeah,
a lot and getting conditioned to that,
yeah.
your swing and your muscles. And,
Because when you play a 18-hole scramble, like it's not like actually playing golf.
No.
But we had that golf weekend. There's a golf weekend that we've done at the resort with the Matt Hughes, Nikums, and Mattingleys, and I think I played 18 back to back, and that the body started to like respond a little bit, pretty sore.
trip my dad goes on, hell, they play what's 18 times 7. That amount of golf.
I mean, that's Rain Man over there.
Yeah.
126.
Yeah, they play that much, and they play a week's worth of golf where they're going to, and they play different courses, and they go every day, so.
Some of that is you swing the golf club a lot different than what your dad does.
100%.
These guys ain't getting a bunch of turn,
No.
a lot of arms.
No.
But yeah, it's Dave. The only way to get out there is to make it a priority.
Got to go.
Just be like the rest of us. Baseball gets over in June, start playing.
Thought about going to the neighborhood place down there, maybe just getting one of those. I mean, I'm going to call it a summer pass. That's not what they call it.
A social membership. With
Well,
with
but
the
you can
round
prepay basically. You get X amount of games.
round cards.
Oh
And,
yeah.
still won't let me play league or anything, but
No.
like to go out there and just.
League starts May 21st, I think.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. I think that's when they said that. So it'll be good. Hey, we're going to take a quick pause. Thanks to the Rugged Foot.
New sponsor alert. The Rugged Foot on 4th Street in Huntingburg is the latest, and they are a good one. The Rugged Foot is a local small business that deserves our support. They carry men's and women's boots with different styles and brands for each. Right now, they have a special going on where if you purchase a pair of men's dry shod rubber boots, you get a women's pair 40% off.
All right, Brother Dave. Go ahead here, sir.
So I'm sure you guys have seen it in the news, but how they brought the dire wolf.
Terrible idea.
So many movies been made about this.
I know.
I mean, not about dire wolves, but about bringing shit back that's
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Not
there's
here.
been one general consensus that the online community has agreed to. These son of a bitches went extinct 10,000 years ago before humans really messed with them. There's probably a reason for it. Maybe we shouldn't bring them back.
That same company is claiming like 26 or 27. They were wanting to have the woolly mammoth back.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing, pal?
When you
What are
start
you doing?
playing God, you're going to have a
Yeah,
problem.
it ain't gonna fly.
Have you guys ever seen that one movie, Jurassic Park?
Yeah.
Or the
time
3
two.
other 4 or 5 they made
Yeah.
past that.
The Chris Pratt versions aren't bad.
Oh, I like.
I'd like to get that 4570 he's got.
That's a Marlin, and
Yeah,
Yeah.
for killing raptors.
and it was so funny.
thing's
Did you see
badass.
the, I'd love to have one of those, but the Marlin, I think it was a Marlin.
You can buy it with a raptor on it.
Right. Well, so on their website, on all their guns, they had like a silhouette, I guess, of like rabbits or buffalo or
Yeah,
whatever.
that was
They
it.
had the damn T-Rex.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I don't know, and I don't know much about dire wolves, other than they must get ginormous.
They say, I mean, allegedly, I don't think they were much bigger than gray wolves. They were, I mean, I think they had more weight to them, but it was still like, I think 28 to 32 inches at the shoulders. But gray wolves get 24 to 27 inches, I think.
But what are you gonna do with these guys? Keep them in a cage somewhere?
I don't know. They had George R. Martin, the guy that wrote the Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Because there's some dire wolves in there, and that was a big kind of part of the plot. So he got to hold all three of them. They're named after the three dire wolves or some horse shit there. I mean, they're cool looking.
Here's the
I
question.
mean, I like big dogs, but
So if those, since they share the same genetic material, you're only going to be able to have inbred dire wolves, correct?
well, so that's what somebody said. They're not really dire wolves because they found the DNA and like some fossils from however long ago.
From the La Brea tar pits, and they said that they're like 16 genomes or something. They had to have at least 12 genomes or something.
Yes,
of the dire wolf to be able to implant that into
gray wolf.
a gray wolf's egg or whatever.
Yeah.
And they said that they were fortunate enough that they found one piece of was it skull or something that they found it from?
I didn't get that deep into the woods. I don't think
I did a little bit, but I believe it was a skull. And they said they found 16 genomes that were 100% dire wolf that they were able to put back into this gray, and that's why they, like Dave said, they're not true dire wolves, but yeah.
But if they're close enough. I saw somebody, because the meme game went strong, and one of them was like, by the end of the week, there'll be dire doodles for sale.
Yeah, no shit. Now, do you say wolf or woof?
wolf.
Wolf. Okay. I just know a lot of people that call them woofs. I think we've had this conversation before about wolves. About
I've known
wolves.
people that call them wolves.
Yeah.
That's what
A dire wolf.
Ratman's little puppy is Woof Woof.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's kind of spooky if you get to thinking about it. Because what if they bring back other shit that, you know?
Well, I think they're full on for it. Who's paying for this, by the way? Like, that's my question. Like, who's depositing the money? And here's the other thing. If we're able to bring back something from 10,000 years ago, why are we not doing that good genetic work to rid the world of other genetic issues and look for, I don't know. I just,
Camo.
a real company we didn't even know about.
Yeah.
So do we think they'll, like, can these dire wolves like breed together then?
I don't know if they'd want them breeding together too soon. You think they'd want to try to figure that out and get a couple different.
That's what I'm saying. The gene pool is gonna.
Yeah. They'll end up with real big foreheads or something.
3 tails.
Yeah.
Banjo playing sons of bitches.
I don't know, man. That's kooky. But I don't know. I'm just tongue-tied about the whole deal.
Well, I just don't know what you're gonna do with them.
Yeah. Well,
Like,
yeah.
you
Just put them in a zoo. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And
you-
then charge people buco bucks to come look at them. You know what I
But
mean?
how much did it cost in money to do this?
How many
genetic-
salaries did they have to pay in order for this shit
Yeah.
to happen? Yeah.
And if you brought a woolly mammoth back,
Oh, my God.
like, that's cool and everything.
Where are you
but-
going to keep it? Africa? Or not Africa. Antarctica?
Maybe.
I mean,
Well, they're probably already there.
If they're releasing,
Spooky.
I can't help it. I say it all the time, but like they're getting paid by the governments, I'm sure, because there's going to be some good reason.
Elon must have not investigated this, or he wants a dire wolf puppy. Because Elon and the Doge boys.
chop and block.
Yeah.
I would have a dire wolf. Like that'd be pretty cool. Like great big old.
A wolf the size of this table.
What
living
was
in
it?
your house.
What's that show called? About where your pets eat you.
Eaten alive.
Is it called that? Or
Cats for sure will do.
Deadly Obsession or some shit like that? Where the cats...
Like the guy's like, oh, the snake always lays next
Yes!
to my daughter. Well, she's sizing her up to see if she'll fit or not.
Yeah, like
Well,
that's what I was getting at.
You want to know a spooky thing? So I went to church on Saturday for
Scary.
Palm and Passion Sunday.
That's right.
But it's Saturday after it's Vigil Mass, so it works. And I was pulling into the spot, and there at St. Mary's, there's a parking lot that you can get to from Washington, and then also Short Fourth and there's a house right there.
Mm-hmm.
And I pull into a spot. There's a girl standing there. She reaches down in the grass and pulls up a snake. And I was like, what the f-? And I'm just like looking at her. And I was like, where did she just pull that out of her backyard? And it was like one of them little ball pythons, I guess. And I get out.
Oh, it was a pet snake.
Yeah. I didn't know that. I just saw her reach into the grass, grab a snake, and put it around, like holding it up.
I got a gun. Put it down.
She's on the phone. She's on the phone. And
Oh
she's got
my
the snake and then
gosh.
puts it around her shoulder. And I get out of the vehicle, and me not leaving an opportunity. There was a guy sitting there on a motorcycle, and there was kids there, and she was there. And I go, not gonna lie, snake threw me for a little bit of a loop. He just chuckled. And it took me off guard.
Come on, kids, get your ass to church. This lady's over here chanting to this snake and shit. We got to get over here.
Yeah, she's handling the serpent. But yeah, it threw me for a loop because she put that thing on her shoulder, didn't miss a beat. I was like, man, that's a big snake to pull out of your backyard. And I start trying to identify it like, oh my God, that almost looks like copperhead or something. She's going to get bit. And it puts it on her shoulder.
That bitch got a blunt tail, or is its eyes catty?
Yeah.
What is that? Smells like cucumbers.
If you have a pet snake, we are not friends. I'm just going to go ahead and throw it out
Uncle
there.
Grant had a couple back in the day. Kind of weird.
Yeah, we're not friends. That's if you are, I just can't handle it. Like there's some things that deserve to be pets. There's something. Go do the great thing. Go to the Du Bois County Humane Society. Adopt a cat or dog. A freaking snake. You can't scratch a snake's belly. It's not going to come up, and I guess you can scratch a snake's belly, but
This kid I worked with, he 100% had snakes, and also had an emperor scorpion. What a weird deal. And he collected swords.
Meth.
Nope. No
telling you.
meth.
Did you get rid of that bearded dragon yet?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ringo.
He had a hole in his head.
Yeah.
17 HMR.
that's
It was definitely overkill, but at the time, he had a bone disease. It was tough.
Yeah.
so a bullet to the head works. Hey, here we go. It's time for the Merkley & Sons Choice Cuts questions of the week for the fellas. Brought to you by Merkley & Sons, the ultimate destination for meat enthusiasts.
Public service announcement. If you're headed to the ball fields and they aren't utilizing Merkley burgers, don't protest or make a scene. We aren't that way. But the next time you head to the field, grab a couple of Merkley burgers from your private stock and ask the grill master to go ahead and make yours with quality burgers from Merkley & Sons, the ultimate destination for meat enthusiasts.
By the way, I went over there on Friday. Had to pick up a couple pit hams to throw on the old pellet,
Yeah.
glaze it. They work out great, delicious. Our marketing must be working because there's a bunch of newbies over there that don't understand how the line system works.
Mm.
And I walk in and usually always treated well. I don't want that to sound bad. Always treated well over there. But Bradley or John Boy sees us.
Sure.
It almost like, and it was a Friday. It was busy. I get it. But some of these folks just grab their stuff from the freezer and head right, and it just don't work that way.
Yeah.
And I was starting to get the itch. I was getting that little bit of an itch. Because
You're going to have to put them a tape line down or something to kind of indicate the flow of
Yeah.
traffic.
Yeah, and it just, it was one of those things. But got something for us to try, a new product. Can't disclose it yet,
Okay.
maybe, but I don't know. He didn't say. He just said, take some and give some to your neighbor at the end of your driveway, which I assume he meant you. Yeah, we're going to
Family
try
of opossums living under the tree stump.
Yeah. So we're going to see how it works out. Get back to him. As you listen to this in podcast time, it is the Wednesday before Easter. So we got some Easter related questions. Would you rather get one giant chocolate bunny or a dozen small chocolate eggs?
I'm a chocolate egg guy, but there was a little bunny statue at the lake house we were at that looked like a giant chocolate bunny, and I'm like, man, that'd be all right. But no, I'd go with the eggs.
I'll take the big bunny.
Wait a minute. When you say chocolate eggs, you're surely talking about Reese eggs, huh?
Small chocolate eggs.
Oh, bunny all day. Sorry, I
Bunny all day.
went to egg.
Would you rather have to wear bunny ears every day for a week or carry an Easter basket everywhere?
I feel like the Easter basket would probably be more utilitarian.
Yeah, give me the ears. I don't want to be toting all that shit around.
Yeah, that's true. I think the ears would be fun. More conversation piece that way. Would you rather eat only chocolate for Easter or only jelly beans?
Oh,
If they're Starburst jelly beans, I'd probably go with the jelly beans.
they're going to be Jelly Bellies, Dave. That's the only kind.
Starburst.
I'm going to go with
I love Starburst jelly beans.
chocolate.
Probably going to go chocolate. Would you rather have to hop like a bunny everywhere you go or cluck like a chicken when you talk?
I reckon I'd probably hop. I get tired of clucking at people.
I would be definitely clucking because I don't hop well. I got bad
I
knees.
want you to
I got bad knees.
I'd probably hop.
And I'd have to wear a bra.
tape them
Look
titties
at,
down.
yeah. Look at the warlocks on that lady. This is a shout out to our girl, Allison Hunter Vogus, if she listens to the show anymore, after we left her out of the bacon tasting contest because somebody thought she was in Tulsa. Anyways, would you rather fight one giant peep or 100 tiny chocolate bunnies?
Probably one giant. What kind of peep? The chicken or the rabbit?
Rabbit. Well, I don't know. That says chocolate bunnies, though, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I would say the bunny
Yeah.
peep.
I'd probably take on the peep.
Yeah, I'll fight the peep. It's just a marshmallow.
You ever seen Ghostbusters 2?
Mm-hmm.
Tough to deal with.
I think I'm going to take my chances with that peep because I'm eating an arm and a leg for sure. And it'll be a one-armed.
I've been training my whole life for this fight.
Yeah. One final one, a little sentimental. Would you rather give an Easter basket or receive one?
Oh, I'd rather give one.
Yeah,
Me
I'd
too.
give one.
Me too. There we go. Enjoy. Happy Easter to those out there. Kids got school on Good Friday.
Mm-hmm.
But I
I
think
mean,
that,
Golf Friday. Shouldn't call it that.
yeah, I guess you can, buddy. You guys closed?
Yeah, so I'm off for Good Friday. The kids happen to have school because it's a makeup day, so it looks like the weather, as long as it holds out, I'd like to
I
go
think
by
it's supposed to
Friday
be rain Friday all weekend, but I don't know. Are you guys, is it a holiday for you?
Yeah.
Of course. All 15 of them you get in a year. Here we go. Some
13 asshole.
sorry,
Actually,
non-election year.
You're
so I
12 or
forgot.
13. Yeah.
Yeah. It is time. We're glad you've joined us. We hope you have a good rest of the week. But it is, we got to go because we got a Friday show. It's time for some final thoughts brought to you by Jumping Jacks.
Outdoor parties, graduation parties, and other events are upon us. Jumping Jacks Entertainment is your go-to source to take a ho-hum party to the next level. Whether you need tents, tables, chairs, or a bounce house, Jumping Jacks has you covered. Simple process. Head to their website, jumpingjacksentertainment.com, and see everything they got. You won't be disappointed.
All right, buddy.
Easter's coming up. That's a good, normally pretty good family memory having type of time of year, so enjoy time with your family. Enjoy the weather. It was good to get out and mow today. The smell of fresh cut grass was
Did
welcome.
you see somebody would buy a mow responsibly
did see
fresh
that.
cut grass
Air fresh.
air freshener? I
I
think
did
that
see
was our
that.
buddy Big Chuck.
Yep.
Norris.
Yep.
Which his, by the way, his reels this week on have like done really well, and it was funny just to go back through
Mm-hmm.
that conversation with him, some of those highlights. So it was good stuff. Big fella.
Yeah, just get outside, man. Get outside when you can. Enjoy the sunrise and fall. I think I'm having a stroke.
Atta baby.
Yeah, but no, it's just gonna get busy. It's time. Buckle up and hang with us. We're gonna try to keep on going.
Big thank you to our friends at the Gaslight, Hopf Outdoor Power, which I'm sure them boys are busy. Go get you a Cub Cadet if you still need something to cut your yard. Rugged Foot, Merkley and Sons, and of course Jumping Jacks Entertainment. We appreciate you guys all month long. Support those that support us. As I've had children, well, my wife has had children. I've just
You've fathered them.
yeah. My part was not as laborious as what hers
Sure.
has been to deliver said children.
Mhm.
But I've really grown fond of the Easter holiday for what it represents and what it means, and enjoy it. It's probably one of my favorites. I think it's an unsung holiday.
It is
It's kind of like,
Thanksgiving.
underrated.
very underrated. It's a good family holiday for those that are close. The weather you hope is going to be nice.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of a nice set to getting into the spring and summer.
I think it's what you've always said before too, though. There's no gift giving. I mean, you have an Easter basket.
Yeah.
Like it's not around like the stuff.
Bunch
It's
of
around,
materialistic bullshit
Exactly.
that you got to jump through hoops
And I
to try
think
to find. Yeah.
Easter is more treated for the reason
sure.
of why it's there instead of like we're Christmas. Christmas
Yeah.
always gets the, we got to remember the reason for the season. But I think Easter still holds strong in that,
Sure.
which is good, especially in our little nestle of the woods here. So just love it. Enjoy the time with family. And like Big Fella said, it's going to be a run downhill because you get Easter over the way, and then you get in May and school and June and July and August.
Buckle up.
And then next thing you know, we're right back into the fall weather that we all love. But
Mhm.
enjoy the summer because you assholes that wanted winter really got it. Right, Dave?
That's right.
Take us out.
Dutchman out.